I think some students are still not ready. So previously we learned about carbohydrates, proteins mainly. These are the two subtopics that usually in your syllabus, mostly important part, mostly important two subtopics. Um, in your syllabus, there is no much information that is mentioned regarding fats and oil. So we will be mainly focusing on carbohydrates and proteins. When we talk about carbohydrates and proteins, uh, previously I showed about the glucose molecule. As you can see, it's quite complex structure, but you can represent the structure with the structure of a diol. Diol means there will be two OH group, and this two OH group there will be a box that represent the whole structure. OH group represents the functional group, and when two of these glucose molecules join together, it eliminates water to produce a polysaccharide, a carbohydrate, which is a polysaccharide made from two. And it goes on combining until all the glucose molecules are used up in the reaction. Then we talk about the hydrolysis of carbohydrates, which is the exact opposite of polymerization, that is breaking down of polymers into monomers. For this to occur, there should be concentrated hydrochloric acid added with addition of water. And hydrolysis is something that occurs in our digestive system in a process called respiration, which is the reverse process of photosynthesis. And I mentioned that you need to know this equation, the equation for respiration. You need to know the equation for photosynthesis as well, but photosynthesis is mentioned in air and atmosphere. And we discuss on proteins. And proteins, we know proteins are made from amino acids, so the monomer is amino acid. They are called polypeptides because they have peptide linkage, just like nylon, peptide linkage, or another name, amide linkage. Like carbohydrates, proteins are also made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But in addition to that, they are made up of nitrogen and some contain sulfur. So if it is an amino acid, it contains amine, which is NH2, and carbon COOH, carboxylic acid functional group, or carboxyl functional group. There are 20 common amino acids. Here, as you can see, the structure of 3: glycine, alanine, cysteine. So these three are some of common amino acids. As you can see, each structure, it has the OH, COOH, and NH2, which is the common factor. That's why they are called amino acids. They have amine and acid group. And we have practiced how to draw the structure of polymer by using the monomer structure. So this is an example which was mentioned before. And like carbohydrates, proteins also they hydrolyze. That means proteins are broken down into amino acids. Uh, but for this to occur, we have to heat by using a concentrated acid. Usually hydrochloric acid is the one which is used in both cases. So you can mention concentrated acid in carbohydrates and proteins you can mention. But in protein case, we have to use a reflux. We have to heat under reflux to prevent any uh, acid vapor from escape into the reaction vessel. Aqueous ammonia is added after completion, after the reaction over, to neutralize any excess acid. So from this equation, as you can see, this will be the polymerization arrow, which is also called condensation, because any elimination of water, small molecules like water, HCl, they are considered as condensation. Okay, and the opposite, breaking down of polymer, usually it is broken down from the linkage. Okay, from the linkage it is broken down into its monomers. So I hope you will practice this. We have somewhat learned this topic, fermentation of simple sugar. So as we learn from alcohol, by using yeast, the yeast will break down glucose at 35 degrees Celsius in anaerobic condition. Anaerobic condition means absence of oxygen. And it should be low temperature, not more than 40 degrees Celsius, usually 35 to 41 or 42 degrees Celsius. Converts glucose into carbon dioxide and specifically ethanol. So this was mentioned as one of the industrial process of making alcohol or ethanol. And you will be asked about some information regarding the separation of amino acid that is formed from hydrolysis. So a hydrolysis of protein, in a hydrolysis of protein, the protein is broken down into amino acids. So there will be a different molecules of amino acid, different types of amino acids. If it is there, how are you able to differentiate that they are different? How are you able to separate that? So the main separating technique is chromatography, to identify that the products of hydrolysis of carbohydrates and proteins contain monomers by using chromatography. Originally used for separating colored substance, chromatography can also be used to identify colorless substance by using a locating agent. You don't need to learn the name of the locating agent, just mentioning locating agent will be enough. A locating agent is a compound that gives color to a colorless substance. That's why it's called locating agent. Okay. So chromatogram paper is used just like simple chromatography, but only the difference is during the chromatography, it is rotated to 90 degrees Celsius and done twice. So I will show you. As you can see from this diagram. So here is the sample spot, and this is the solvent. This is the chromatogram paper. So as you can see, when solvent pass through the substance or the sample spot, The sample spots move upward, as you can see from the second diagram, and different substances are different according to their solubility level. So the spot at the top is the one which is most soluble. That's how chromatogram identify different substance based on their solubility level, how soluble that substance is. So the first one is the most soluble one, and the last one is the least soluble one. And when the paper is rotated to 90 degrees Celsius, thus the spots can travel according to how it is turned due to gravity. Okay, so that is just to uh, identify the substances or the different spots more clearly. So that's all about organic chemistry. We have finished what we have to learn about organic chemistry. Now this is the time for assessment. I'm giving you 20 minutes time to work on the assessment. All right, 20 minutes time. You can start. It's 2:11 now. We will start at 2:30 the discussion of answers. Okay, everyone. Wish you all the best. So the first question is, there are two types of polymerization. That is addition polymerization and condensation. Explain the difference between these two. So in addition, there's only one product. There's only one product that is formed, which is the polymer. But in condensation, along with polymer, small molecules are formed, or you can mention water is formed. Okay. Any other answer? If anyone got, please mention any other answer. Okay, we will proceed with B part. Some plastics formed by polymerizations are non-biodegradable. Describe two pollution problems that are caused by non-biodegradable plastics. So you can mention any one of these points. Ingestion can be fatal to animals. Animals caught can be caught in plastic. Combustion release toxic or burning of plastic release toxic gases or poisonous gas. Landfill uses natural resources or increase in landfill sites That also you can mention. Any other answers? So any two you have to mention. Okay. Then C part, it says the polymer known as PVA is used in paints and adhesives. Its structural formula is shown below. Deduce the structural formula of its monomer. So when you take down the polymer structure and identify the repeating units, so it has CH2, CHO, CO, CH3. That part is repeated twice. So that means the base 2 carbon is having carbon-carbon double bond, and everything else will be mentioned. You can write the structure in this manner as well. Mention carbon-carbon double bond, hydrogen for the first carbon, one hydrogen top, the other one O, CO, CH3. This way also you can mention the answer. Okay. Yes, first question, if you read linkage, that also fine. Condensation polymer have a specific linkage while addition polymer does not, right? In that way also you will get there. That's correct. Yes. Okay, everyone, do you got the answers? So D part, it says a condensation polymer can be made from the following monomers. Draw the structural formula of this polymer. So again, here it's given the condensed version of the structure, and if in the question if it is given in the condensed version, it's better to give the answer in condensed version. All right, so we have HOOC, CH2, 4COO, so dicarboxylic acid, and then you have H2N, CH2, NH2. So as I mentioned before, always OH is removed from acid, then H is removed from the other. So when you draw the structure, OC, CH2, 4CO, then from here, from CO, it bonds with the N, because NH bond is the one which is broken. You should not, here you should not write HN. Okay, if you write HN, that will be wrong, because you are mentioning that oxygen is bonded to hydrogen. No, oxygen is bonded to nitrogen, so be careful. CH2, 6 NH, the continuation line should be there. So in this question, it says draw the structure of polymer, so make sure you include bracket and N. Even sometimes that bracket N is, if you do not draw, it's fine, but we don't know in which case the examiner will expect, so make sure that you include bracket and N. Okay. Okay, how can we draw displayed formula? So to draw the display formula, we know OH is broken, so that means only carbon oxygen double bond will be there. So CH, if you draw the display structure, it will be a very long structure. So CH2, 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 CH2 4 times. Okay, this part. And then we include the double bond oxygen. Then it bonded to nitrogen. And nitrogen you can write below or up, it does not matter. Then you will not have enough space to write 6 CH2. So I will write CH2 6 and NH continuation line. This will be the structure. If you are asked to draw the display structure, this CH2 6, this part, that part also should be shown. But it will be very long structure, impossible to draw in that space, I think. Okay, Saudan? Okay, question number 2. It says, synthetic polymers are disposed of in landfill sites and by burning. Describe 2 problems caused by disposal of synthetic polymers. So, synthetic polymers, shortage of sites, landfill sites. When burned, it produces toxic gases or produce poisonous gases. Or you can say it leads to visual pollution, because when burned continuously, it is producing smoke. So that will be considered as visual danger to wildlife. So any 2 from this 3 point will be fine. Okay. Then the next question is, describe 1 problem caused by burning of synthetic polymers. So produce toxic gases such as carbon monoxide, HCl or HF, hydrogen fluoride, carbon dioxide, or you can also mention greenhouse gases, produce greenhouse gases. Okay. Then B part, state 2 uses of synthetic polymers. So used to produce bags, clothing, packaging, bowl, cups, plates, flooring, carpets, pipes, insulation, non-stick coating, ropes. So many options are there. Among those, you can write any 2 to get 2 marks. To get 1 mark, you have to write 2 to get 1 mark. Then C part. C part, it says the structural formula of synthetic polymer are given below. Draw the structural formula of monomer of polymer A. So polymer, you can see there is 3 carbon in the repeating unit, so it will be CH2 double bond CH, then CH3. Or you can draw the display structure. It will be CH2, the continuation line should be there, double bond carbon, hydrogen, and CH3. sorry, the continuation line should not be there. We are drawing monomers. So this will be the monomer structure. Okay. Identify the functional group circled in polymer B, ester. Ester. Describe the two types of organic compounds which have reacted to form polymer B. So it is a carboxylic acid and alcohol. You can write dicarboxylic acid and diol, that also will be fine. Both ways you can give the answer. Okay, D part, explain the difference between addition and condensation polymer. So this is same question. Classify A and B, either addition or condensation. So polymer A is addition, polymer B is condensation. So like what you have done in the first question, the answer, same answers will be there. Okay. Question number 3. Identify two common features in the in the formula of these carbohydrates. So you have glucose, sucrose, starch, two common features. They contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen only. The other reason is hydrogen and oxygen is in the ratio of 2:1. Okay. Then B part says, draw the structure of a complex carbohydrate such as starch. The formula of glucose is given. Include 3 glucose units in the structure. So that means you are asked to draw 3 repeating units. So this will be the answer. B part, it says starch hydrolysis to glucose in the presence of enzyme. What is meant by the term enzyme? Enzymes are biological catalyst that speed up a chemical reaction, or biological catalyst, if you mention, that will be fine. I think you will have some information from biology. Then for C part 1, put the experiment in order of reaction rate, slowest first and fastest last. So the idea is, if it is more time is taken, then it will be the slower. All right, it has related something to do with time. Less time means the reaction is fast. So the fastest is C and the slowest is B. This rate of reaction will be the next topic that we will be highlighting. So for now, I think we will leave that question because it contains collision theory. Let's take question number 4. Question number 4, it says the structural formula of a polymer is given below. So it's again in addition polymer. You have to draw the formula of monomer. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon, and the double bond should be in the middle. Again, if you want to represent this structure in the structural form, display form, first double bond, 2 carbon should be there. You can take either top or bottom the CH3 group and H below. Then part 2, two monomers are shown below from nylon, which is a condensation polymer. Draw the structural formula showing one repeating unit of the polymer. So this will be one repeating unit. Always make sure if it is one repeating unit mentioned or 4 repeating units, you must not include bracket and you must not include n. All right. So it's now 3 o'clock, time to finish. I have uploaded the marking scheme of this paper in your class. So make sure check the answers and mark by yourself and give how much you got. Okay. And do the corrections by writing corrections in a different color and do the corrections if you got any part wrong. All right. Any question before we finish? Anyone want to ask any question, any comment before we finish? School opens, we don't know. No information yet. So that if the dots are too close to each other, it will be difficult to find the RF value. Do you remember the RF value? Yes, it will be difficult to find the exact distance. So in order to find the RF value more clearly, because either way they will be the same distance, right? Yeah. I will upload the presentation PPT file. You can check the diagram. Easier visibility, in other words. Okay, we will finish. Make sure you check the answers from the Google Classroom. Okay. So tomorrow again same time, 2 o'clock. See you everyone. Have a nice day.